Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 11 o'clock Q&A. I need to fill you in on some things that are going on around City Hall and in the city of Red Lodge. I hope you're all well and healthy. Once again, keep track of your family, friends, and neighbors during these times. And please support our local businesses. Please, when you're on the chat, would you please state your name? So we know who we're talking to. And we'll move on from there. If looks like everybody's mic is muted, which is good. When you have a question, just unmute and go ahead and ask your question. I want to let you know the crack sealing is going on at the golf course area. It still will continue for a while. We have an opening on the library board, which we've already noticed that, and we received, I think, one or two.
One, and it was closed last Friday.
And it was closed last Friday. So just let you know that. City Hall is open. The construction is completed, and it seems to be working out very well. Once again, if you have a water payment, we'd still prefer to have that in the drop box, and that is on the west door. We're going to have a work session and council meeting July 14th at 6 p.m. I want you to know that court is in session, and everything seems to be going along quite smooth with that. We had a department head meeting yesterday on the budget, and those results will be on the city's website by the end of the day, and so you may review those. We also are a meeting presenting the budget to council. We're going to have a special meeting on July 7th at 6 p.m. We will have another one probably in a couple weeks that will be announced, and all these meetings will be announced on our Google Groups, Facebook, and our website. The July 7th meeting, that isn't an action meeting. Also, we have one action item that needs to be taken care of. So that will be the first thing on the agenda, and then we'll move right into presenting the budget to council. The resort tax ordinance passed its second reading and public hearing, so now we just have a little time to wait before that ordinance goes into effect. As far as COVID-19, on the testing that they did in town here several weeks ago, there were 923 tested. 2 of those were positive and were retested, and they were not positive. So very good turnout, makes Red Lodge look really good, like we're doing the things that we need to do. Want to remind everybody that we're still, need to take our census. When I talked with the county yesterday, only 35% have actually filled out their census. So please go on their website and fill that in. It doesn't take very long at all, maybe a couple minutes. And it's very easy, very user friendly. So please get in there and do that. It's very important to the city, the county, and the state as far as funding from the federal government. The Economic Recovery Committee met on Wednesday. Some really good results. Tom Kuntz reported that his restaurants are running at about the same level as last year, although the hotel occupancy rate is down about 40%. Also, Jeff Schmidt from the Mountain said that his downtown store and the golf course revenues are up 50% year to date over last year. So it's a very good sign. As you all know, we've had a lot of people in town. The rally has been approved by the county. There is going to be a special meeting with the merchants at the Roman Theater, and I do not recall that date, to talk about the rally with Bill George and see how we're going to do that. Farmers Market is operating, so please go there and get some of the fresh vegetables and other goodies they have over there. As you know, the parade had been canceled. There has been an application to close Broadway. And that's in an effort to give people social distancing, give our stores, restaurants, and bars areas to social distance inside their bar by moving some of those people outside. And I think that's about all I have for right now. I can't seem to find anything else. So I'll go ahead and start taking some questions from everybody. We'll talk about the budget a little bit that we went over yesterday. There's still a lot of unknowns that we're working with that we don't know the values of the mills yet. We know that we have the resort tax to help us with some of those maintenance things such as parks. So some of those items were moved over into the resort tax. The resort tax, we figured that as coming in at approximately $500,000, which is half of what we had last year. So we're working with all that. Like I said, there's a lot of unknowns, but we always err on the low side of everything to make sure that we're within our budgets on that. Something everybody's always wondering about is the swimming pool. I talked with Brent Moore at Interstate Engineering, and that engineering is pretty much complete. The last parts of that is actually what they handle is going out to bid and picking a contractor, and I believe that this year that's not a possibility. So he's going to get me that final engineering on that, and we'll be able to carry on. If it comes on further on, at least we have that preliminary engineering done so that we're able just to update that when we decide to get to that point, and we'll be able to move forward with that. I see Beth Steen is on. Beth, do you want to tell us about the meeting that's going to be at the Roman?
Sure. There's a meeting Tuesday night at the Roman Theater. Kind of just it's for business owners only. And Bill George is gonna be there, the public health officer, and Bill Bullock. I ran into him yesterday. He's gonna attend too. And we as business owners are gonna have the opportunity to discuss our concerns with coronavirus, how each store or each business is handling it, what's working, what's not working, that type of thing.
Very good. I think that'll be a great meeting. Would you allow me to attend that also?
Sure.
Thank you.
Kristen Cogswell said those wayfinding signs look great.
Well, yeah, thanks, Chris. The wayfinding signs are in. They're being hung around town. As you know, this has been about a 2.5-year project. The first ones that went up were pointing to the Civic Center for parking, overflow parking, RV parking. I think they look really good. That's a lot of effort that went into those over the years, working with MDOT to make sure that everything had the right reflectability on it. And I think it's a real big asset. Also, the flower baskets are out and they look awesome too. Good job to the Proud and Beautiful Committee. Those people work very hard in doing the flower basket, doing the 4th of July fireworks. Please, everybody donate. The cans are all over town. And also they put on Christmas stroll. So a great group of volunteers that are very serious about these 3 things.
Kristen also said, is anything going on with the flags? Are they going to stay? How long or how they are all summer? Thanks to the work the flag committee has done. Also, that moose at Old Roosevelt is great.
I thought the moose looked really good when I drove by the other day. Not so sure about the flag committee, what they're doing. I'm going to have to check into that and see what their plan is. You know, normally 4th of July, they fill it full of American flags, and I'll get a hold of them and update on that.
Mary Cameron said the signs are very reflective at night, look great.
Mary? Also want to tell you that the city is going to have a social media class Monday. We're going to have 2 classes, and everybody in City Hall will be taking that and get updated on social media.
Kristen said, I love these forums, thank you. May people volunteer to join you?
Sure, yes. You know, I think it worked out really good having Tim Weimer here last Friday so he could talk about the street closure and how that was all going to work. I think we're going to do more of that, having some guests come in that have special events going on or things that are of interest to the city and the people of the city. I think it's a great idea.
Kristen said, what is the mask policy for city employees?
So we have put up our, as I said, our remodeling, and we come in every morning and take our temperatures, and it's on a volunteer basis here at City Hall for city employees, whether they want to wear masks or not. And all of our other public works people have all the supplies they need out there for doing their job and meeting with the public. They all know that they need to stay there. They're 6 feet apart when dealing with the public. They all have masks. We've asked them all to wear masks when they're doing that. The police department has a very good supply. They've taken some training from Dr. George on the proper way to keep their social distancing and how to use their PPE.
Kathy Robson, there is a meeting tonight at 5 o'clock at the chamber for anyone who wants to help with the 4th of July street.
Okay, so yes, if you didn't hear that, there's a meeting at the chamber tonight at 5 o'clock for people that want to help with street closure for the 4th of July. And please attend that if you can help out at all. Anything you want to say about the budget, Moni? Okay.
Kristen Cogswell, how are the council meetings going?
The council meetings are going good. The last one that we had 3 in attendance here at the council chambers. We had 1 person that phoned in, and then there were 2 people that did not log in or phone in. That was a work session meeting. Went through a lot of things. Pretty much took up the 2 hours and got a lot of good things accomplished. Some really good discussion, and it seems to be going really well. As you know, it's really difficult to manage a meeting when you have some people in the audience and some people that are logged in, and trying to monitor and give everybody a chance to talk during those times. I did ask that the council people would come to the chambers for the last meeting, and some of them chose not to, which is okay. But it's really better to have discussions here, giving everybody a chance to talk and not talking over each other. So it's always a difficult time, and we continue to work to perfect that.
Mary Cameron said, Mr. Mayor, you issued a directive to the council that council members could not attend remotely.
I asked that they attend the council meeting so we could have discussion. I sent that out, and I wish that everybody would come to the council meetings. We're able to social distance in here with department heads, and we have a way of people that are wanting to talk, wait outside until the time is for the public comment section, or for them to talk on any item, the agenda item that they're involved in. I think it worked out really well this last time. I'm still would really encourage council to come, and so we can have really good discussions in here face to face. But if they decide to not, that's the way it is. If they feel more comfortable being at home.
Sorry. Kristen, as well, as you look toward the end of your term, there things you're looking at trying to accomplish?
Really, when 2.5 years ago, when my first term, I had a list of things that I wanted to get accomplished. Actually, we've done very well. As you know, there were several things that caught us by surprise right away, such as the community development director leaving and having to replace him. We hadn't had a police chief for 2 years. We had to get a new police chief in here. We've had to do a lot that was extra on our plate at that time. But the list that I first compiled, the last thing on it was renewing the resort tax, which we've been able to accomplish. We had a great committee with that, and it's time to make up the new list. So I will be working on that and move forward with it. Thank you.
Stephanie Naftel, you're saying council members have to be there in order to vote.
Absolutely not. I did not say that.
Mary Cameron, and you restated that council members were required to be in attendance in person when questioned by a member of the public.
No, I didn't say that either. I said that members of the public here speak during public comments, and if you want to speak on agenda items, we call them in at that time, and that's the way that's going to work for quite some time now.
Stephanie Naftel, this seems wrong. We are spiking and unnecessary in 2020, and both of those were questions.
I didn't say a question there at all.
Mayor, this is Jael Campy.
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank you for, I feel like there's really been some good progress. And I feel like, particularly in the budgeting process, it's very evident how much is on your plate. And I feel like in the last 3 weeks, you have been ticking off items that are achievable, that are reasonable, and moving the dialogue forward on, though it's focusing on sort of issues around the police, I feel like it's actually addressing larger ways of rebuilding public trust and forming new ways to work as a community. And so first, I want to thank you on that.
Thank you.
And I feel like there's really specifics. Like, I'm really grateful for the commitment a couple weeks ago with Danae getting transparent documents onto the website. I think that's progress. I really appreciate these meetings. I feel like they can sometimes be hard because it's a way in which the public can ask questions, but I feel like you show up every week and give us this forum, and I'm really grateful for it. I was rereading notes from last week. I really like the way in which you're committed to thinking and maybe even reimagining ways to build stronger relationships between the police. And I'm hopeful that you'll allow us to participate in that reimagining. I think the forums that have existed have worked for a certain population that's really comfortable with the setting of coffee roasters and Elks Club, but it's not necessarily an environment that all members would choose. For instance, I think youth may have different ideas of how they would want to build a relationship with the police. So I just thank you for all of that. And going back to the topic on hand, I'm really grateful for how with council meetings you continue to allow an online format. My husband is having surgery, and so we have to, social distancing isn't enough. You know, for health reasons, we actually have to isolate. And I feel like historically you've worked really hard and well to create multiple avenues for people to engage in multiple ways. And I really hope that you can continue that same courtesy for members of City Council, though it would always be better to be in person for reasons that may be private, you know, and I can speak for myself, you know, it just wouldn't be an option for me. If that was the only way to engage and be part of city government, I couldn't. And it doesn't seem like there's any reason why that same courtesy couldn't be extended to council members. Could you explain why we can't, or would you reconsider affording that to all council members in the same way that you've graciously done so for the public with multiple avenues?
Yes, and thank you for everything, Gail. You've been a lot of help during the last several weeks. I think that we've gone quite a ways. I think that this format that we're using even today is something that's going to continue on in the future. I think it needs to. There was some concerns that people were talking over each other during council meetings, which, like I say, is very hard to manage on my side of it. When we have some people that are on logged in and that's people that are in the audience here, we try to manage that as well as we can. I think it's something that we still need to work on how exactly we're going to do that. I mean, even something like your picture showing up right now, raising your hand and saying, you know, hey, my turn would help tremendously. And so I encourage everybody to do that. If the people feel safe being at home, even council members, I'm willing to open that up and do it that way. Like I say, we're trying to manage the meetings in a way, and talking over other people offends other people, and we just need to manage it. Like I say, I think seeing your picture or seeing other people's pictures, the council people, if they would raise their hands, or it would just be a whole lot easier for us. This is the way the future is going. We're going to continue doing this method, and I think it works out really well.
Mayor, would it be helpful? Some of us like professionally have to manage Zoom calls quite a bit. And I wonder if just posting in the chat at the beginning of the meeting, which can be standard protocol, just those expectations,
okay,
so that you've got stronger systems, and maybe that would address the, I think, a very valid and insightful concern that you have, and maybe simplify it so that it's not, the burden of figuring it out isn't all on you, but maybe some of us could do a draft of something that maybe provides some support for you, so that, you know, in this situation, Mary Cameron is some of our representatives, and we really value her. We value all of our council members and really want to support them. You know, all of you are volunteers. I mean, it's just amazing what you all do, and we want to really support you guys so that everybody can be active and fully served.
Yes. I would like to have a conversation with you about what you just said next week, if you have some time.
That'd be great. Just send me an email and let me know. My schedule tends to be pretty flexible because I'm self-employed.
Sure, I'll do that. I'll put it on there. I'll shoot you an email on Monday when we can figure out a good day and time. And I'd really like to talk to you about that, because I think what you said is very important. If we can just kind of make a statement at the beginning of it, you know, on how it's all going to run, it'll make a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm.
There was a comment from Diane Barris. The police reached out to the youth by having coffee with a cop at the high school, which was a huge success. All the officers attended and the students had a good time interacting and meeting with them.
Yes, and as we had discussed before, and I think it was in the paper also, the outreach that we have tried to do over the last year, and being that we're in this COVID-19, it makes it really difficult to do some of the things that I wanted to do to get the police out into the public in a larger group setting where everybody could come and meet them. And you know, it's difficult to meet everybody's perfect time. But if we do enough of them, I think we'll be able to boost that support, and everybody will know exactly where the police are, have a chance to talk to them about whatever's on their mind, and we will continue to move forward with that as things get better.
If no one else is going to talk, I'll ask another question, but I don't want to take over if other people have questions.
It's pretty quiet out there. Yeah, we got about 4 minutes left. Yeah, let's go ahead. If you have another one, Jill.
Yeah, I also just wanted to thank you for, I'm really excited about the new policy around budgeting. I think that there's a lot of community members really wanting to be more engaged, and again, it's a huge undertaking to really understand the budget. And I'm just, again, I feel like a lot of work was done for that policy, and I'm grateful to see it moving forward.
You know, it's different. Our budget is really different. You know, when I came on board, it was, you know, we should be able to run this like a household budget. And boy, it just does not quite work that way. We have county money, and we have state money, and we have loans, and we have a certain way that things need to be done so that the auditors know exactly what we're doing. So we have to do it the way the auditors do. So it was opening my eyes at when we first got to exactly how it goes. And as I say, there's a lot of unknowns that are not even knowing what the mills are until late August, early September. And, you know, we need to pass that budget in September, according to, you know, what the state says. It is difficult. It's very interesting. I do have to say that the department heads do a fantastic job. There's not a lot of room to cut anything. They have everything down right to the penny, and there's not any fluff in there. We don't allow that. I have to say that Lonnie does a fantastic job of keeping us surprised where monies are, where they're coming in, where they're going. As of a couple of weeks ago, we were getting close to the end of the month. I went ahead and froze everything, and as long as the department heads were going to purchase anything that was over $200, they had to okay it through me. So it was a good way of monitoring that last part of the budget. And we did have some things. We had the library had an air conditioning problem, but it was nice. Called me up to get that repaired. So it all worked really well. Everybody at City Hall works very good together, and I have to commend them, because a lot of times they make me look a whole lot better, and they do a fantastic job. So thank you, Lonnie. I think, you know, and I do, this year we're having more meetings. As far as the budget's concerned, we're going to have 2 in July. We'll do some tweaking there. Those are with the department heads, although people can come and observe that if they would like to. They're going to be pretty long due to the resolution, and what council would really like to have done is have the department heads explain things better. And I think that's why we're going to do more meetings in August also, with more public input. So it's a good way to keep the public involved into it.
Mayor, will you have the department heads present against their strategic plans? You I know I haven't been able to see it or find it, but I know there's been I found a couple of references for the police department that they had a strategic plan for 2017 to 20. And, if I were, in my business for a department head, I would require them to present against a strategic plan of measures against goals, and then how the new proposed budget will help them achieve sort of the next set of goals. Will there be some way, or have you thought through it, or is there ways that we could potentially provide support to help you think through integrating into kind of the annual process that kind of professionalism around assessment and measurements into budgeting?
2.5 years ago when I started, I had all the department heads get a strategic plan together. I have not updated that. Something that I do need to review, and thanks for bringing that up. And I will definitely get that to the department heads to update, and so that they can present against that strategic plan. Thank you. And that's about it for today. I think this went really well. Thanks for all the great questions out there and everybody listening in. And have a safe weekend. Oh, next. Oh, that's right. And I have to remind you, next Friday is a holiday, and I'm not going to be here. So we'll catch you in a couple weeks. Be safe out there.